Hey buddies, it's about time I give my opinion on the whole YouTube Nintendo controversy, content ID copyright strike notifications, claiming monetizations, controversy. If you haven't heard about this, Nintendo's being particularly aggressive in the last few months. I've been noticing this on our account, everything from our Skyward Sword videos to some of our Mario Kart videos are being flagged. This is done through a content ID system that uses sound effects and music, snippets of, provided by the copyright owner, to YouTube, and they use that in their system to swath through all of their videos. Yes, I think all of them, they have to find videos that match that content. They then notify the content owner and say, what do you want to do with this? They have a choice. They take it down completely, thus giving a copyright strike to a YouTuber, which when you have 3 of those, you are banned from YouTube permanently. Or they can leave it on YouTube. This is what most content owners do, despite what Nintendo says. They make it sound as though they're doing something heroic by not taking these videos down. All content owners that I've seen so far, especially in the video game industry, leave the stuff up and they apply their own advertising. So YouTube has been doing this since February, they say. In the last little while, some prominent YouTubers, bigger than our channel, have become vocal on it, and that's why this is kind of stirring up a lot of controversy, and everybody's kind of putting up their hand saying, me too. Well, here I am, me too. We have been flagged for multiple videos, quite a few. Everything, like I said, from Skyward Sword to Mario Kart. A lot of non-Nintendo ones too, but I want to give you the main difference between being flagged by other companies compared to Nintendo in my experience so far. When a copyright flag comes up, when a content ID match is given, you go into your YouTube account, and under there you have this part called copyright notices. Under there is a list of things, of matches that they have found. Then when you go, then you have the option of clicking through that video and saying, I acknowledge this, I used copyright material and I don't dispute this claim, or appeal it. Within the appeal process you have some, appeal is the next step. First, you dispute it. The appeal comes later. So you go in and you dispute, and in the dispute process you can say that I had permission from the creator, this was done, I think that's there's only 2 legitimate, they have a few different bullet points you can click in there, and I think if you submit anything but the 2 that are correct, it will just tell you you can't do that. Like one of the bullet points is I gave credit. That doesn't matter. You either have permission to fully use it, or you're using it under fair use. Now, fair use. Let me describe what this is, and this is a tough one because it is a very gray area of the law. It is completely open to interpretation, and it's kind of for everybody to sort themselves out because it almost never goes to court. And when it does, it's again every time it goes to court, it's a new precedence. One of the most famous cases was 2 Live Crew using the song Pretty Woman, I think, and they argued that they were parodying the song, but I guess I forget who sang Pretty Woman. I look like an idiot saying that, but what they were saying was that it was actually not parodying the song. It was just using the song to satire other things that didn't have anything to do with the song. And satire is different from parody. Parody's the work itself. Satire uses the work to parody other things like society or politics. That would be like Weird Al Yankovic would be satire, where he takes like another song, a song like, Lady Gaga song, and then makes fun of the president. That would be satire. All right, so fair use in regards to, let's get specific, video games. Fair use is parody, review, or a transformative work. Parody is obvious. When you're parodying the work, you're making fun of the guys on screen. That can be parody. If you made a fan video where you dressed up like Mario and Luigi and you ran around hitting bricks on the street, Mega 64 would be a great example of parody. They're using characters from games to parody the content. But it does go as far as using the actual content itself to parody itself. And I would say that moments in games where we find glitches, moments where we find the story to be cheesy, moments where we just are laughing in general, or just playing a game and being goofs, that can be parody. The second part of it is review. Obviously, you're playing the game, you're giving your opinion, you're disseminating the content. That can be considered review, in whole or in part, and that's also where it gets sticky. That gets into the part where video games are a transformative work. If we were to sit there and watch a movie all the way through, even if we were giving our opinion all the way through, like a Rift Tracks or something like that. It's going to be tough for anybody to ever defend that is straight up review, because somebody can watch that along, and if they like you, it feels as though they could be just, watching the movie with you, and that's where it starts to get sticky, because the content owner could argue that this production detracts from the original work, and that's the main point that needs to be proven in work. Did this piece detract from someone's likelihood to spend money on your product? In the case of review, that obviously is moot, because if a bad review comes out and they want to take you to court and say your bad review caused people not to buy our product, we're suing you for copyright infringement, that would be wrong, and that's why review is a different category. I told you, this shit is like a quagmire. And then, so anyways, to my point though, what was I saying? Yeah, so transformative work. Video games are inherently a transformative work because every time you play it, it's different. So everybody who does play it, you're watching somebody. It's hard to argue that I am detracting from someone's likelihood to want to play the game themselves if they are watching me play it, because they could play it in a completely different way. And that's why video games are a new, completely burgeoning frontier for copyright. And it's a really tough area to police, I acknowledge. And the unfortunate thing, I guess what I'm really boiling it down to, is it does not, in my opinion, and I think in most people's opinions, hurt the company's original production or product for Let's Plays to exist. If anything, I would say it perpetuates a gaming culture, a strong gaming culture, a community that is strengthening and keeping the gaming industry alive. That is the key thing that Nintendo needs to remember here, and needs to follow suit with many other video game companies before them releasing their copyright claims when it is in the event of fair use. I am certain that there are videos out there that they should be getting a share in. If somebody is straight up ripping the Mario 64 soundtrack and posting it up song for song with its title and everything, and just like verbatim with like a logo of Mario 64, that is just their content. It's just being posted up. People going there to listen to the song. Why shouldn't Nintendo get a piece of that? However, when you have 5 of us drunk idiots sitting on a couch with the game skewed up in the corner and a logo in the background and flashing lights and a chat room and us talking to the chat room, talking about things completely off topic, laughing about the game, loving the game, sometimes not loving the game, making fun of the game, making fun of everything, that is a transformative work that is its own production. And the creator, and this is the most important part, and I've seen some people that really enrage me when talking about fair use. Fair use includes the ability to make profit from those works. Otherwise, why would movie reviewers even exist? If you really believe that fair use means that you shouldn't be able to make profit off of parody or review, then somebody should call up the Ebert estate and tell his family and his heirs, that they're not getting any cash from what he's earned over his entire career. I think I've wrapped up pretty much everything I need to say on that. Fair use is a very difficult thing to understand. I don't know it all, but I know quite a bbit more than a lot of the people that are writing about it right now, and I think that's what made me want to speak up, because when you see bloggers and just the general, I guess, zeitgeist of the internet talking about it and being very misinformed about it, when it's your bread and butter, you got to step forward. And so that was me stepping forward and telling you a little bit about how it works. As a last point, what happens after that when you say that I use this in fair use? This is a transformative work for parody and review using content, images and video and music from the video game, quote, put video game here. When I submit that through the copyright process on YouTube, they can then release the claim, or they can apply their own advertising, or they can give me a copyright strike and take the whole video down, which no company has done yet that I've seen. After that, I can appeal it, and that forces them to, it's supposed to force them, if they want to really take the video down after that, take me to court and make me prove it. I have full confidence that any Let's Player that brought a video game company to court, if they could afford it, would win. Not any Let's Player, but anybody representing content that is as transformative as commentary or review and parody as ours would win. But the point is, it's just like who's able to afford that. It's never going to go to that point. So the most we can really hope for in the end is that these companies continue to use common sense and really realize that though it is their prerogative to take the videos down and continue to find content ID and copyrights, although it's their prerogative, it is not in their best interest to police this in a draconian way. It's a community. Video gaming is a community. Any company that doesn't acknowledge that going into the next generation, I think, is going to be quite surprised, and it's probably going to hurt their bottom line in the end. That's just my prediction, because I think that even as the gaming industry gets bigger, we, in a way, grow closer together, especially with new media. And not to toot my own horn, but yes, I will. Like shows like ours, it creates like a I don't know, a mecca kind of for people to come and talk and enjoy things together, and that is a big part of gaming. And I think I'm just waxing philosophical about my own show, so I'm just gonna stop this now. But anyways, I got my thing out. Thanks for watching, and I will maybe follow this up if things develop any more after this. But for now, I love you guys.